Welcome to Consumer Science News and Notes, an informative program from experts on your health, home, family, food, and finances. Did you know that many people, maybe even you, may have a serious artery disease and don't even know it? Registering with the Selective service is something every young man should do, and thanks to a new app, you may never lose your keys again. Consumer Science News and Notes will explain these interesting facts and offer useful and intriguing information. During the program, we'll let you know about websites you can visit for useful data and ideas. We'll also tell you where to send for free brochures and information packets. Amid all the excitement of the school year, there's something a young man should remember. Within 30 days of your 18th birthday, you must register with the Selective service. Not registering may mean not getting a driver's license, certain jobs, job training, scholarships, and student loans. Fortunately, it's easy. You'll probably get a card in the mail. If not, you can find one at any post office. You can check Register Me on the FAFSA form. Your school may provide a registrar. Perhaps simplest of all, you can go to sss.gov and fill out the form online. Keeping track of your stuff can be easier than you think thanks to a new device that keeps an eye on your belongings. Just stick a special tag to anything you don't want to lose. Keys, tablet, purse, luggage, passport, phone, and add an app to your iPhone or iPad. Like magic, pixie dust appears so you can quickly find things, even through walls and under cushions. Easy-to-use augmented reality technology links the app with what you value most. To find what's yours with Pixie, go to Amazon or getpixie.com. Peripheral artery disease is a serious condition affecting 8.5 million American adults, but many don't know they have it. Are you one of them? PAD can cause leg pains while walking or during exercise. It can also increase risks for heart attack and stroke. Early detection and treatment is key, so show off your legs at your next checkup and speak up about problems with your legs or feet. Visit heart.org/PAD to learn more about the signs and symptoms of peripheral artery disease.
When chemotherapy failed to stop Adrienne Skinner's cancer, she enrolled in a clinical trial for patients who have certain mutations. Adrienne, who had inherited Lynch syndrome, had that biomarker. The new American Association for Cancer Research Cancer Progress Report highlights discoveries that are saving lives. In the year ending July 31, 10 of the 20 FDA approvals for new cancer treatments were immunotherapies, including the very one that successfully treated Adrienne.
Over the next several years, there'll be the collection of big data, and you'll see a quicker advancement of successful therapies. For example, right now we've learned that Lynch syndrome is incredibly responsive to immune therapies.
This particular drug works because of my genetic defect. There are all sorts of genetic defects that are causing cancers. The research to do those is only possible if we fund it.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. I didn't know as a kid that I was going to serve in the military. My big motivator to serve was actually watching the towers fall on 9/11.
9/11 happened a few months after I joined.
I joined because that was something that I always wanted to do.
My truck was struck by a very large anti-armor improvised explosive device.
And when I wake up, I'm outside of the vehicle, laying in the sand.
I'm missing my right leg below the knee.
I wasn't missing any limbs. I didn't have any physical scars. So I was a little hesitant, but once I got involved more, I realized that we suffer from the invisible wounds of war.
So then the doctor said, that they believed that I had TBI. I had no idea what this was, and they said it was a traumatic brain injury.
Wounded Warrior Project has honored and empowered all of us, regardless of our injuries.
They flew me to Vail, Colorado to do adaptive skiing. I would never have been able to do that without Wounded Warrior Project and without the donors and all of our partners that Wounded Warrior Project has.
They've given me education. They've given me a smile. They've given me this huge extended family that without them otherwise I probably wouldn't have.
I've connected with fellow veterans that I've served with in Iraq. I've connected with fellow veterans that I didn't know and made new friendships.
Wounded Warrior Project served me in such a way that if I could just serve one person, then I will have done Wounded Warrior Project a great justice.
They have empowered me to better myself by not giving me a handout, but by giving me a hand up.
If it wasn't for the opportunities that they've given me, I would still be stuck on my couch wondering what I'm going to do with myself, literally.
They didn't just tell me I could do stuff. They showed me.
Without them, I would probably still be trying to transition from Sergeant Crutch to Lisa Crutch. They've helped me to do that. If Wounded Warrior Project does nothing else for me, if they do nothing else for me, the things that they've done thus far will sustain me for a lifetime.
Right now, wild tigers face an urgent crisis. Black market demand for tiger skin and bone has surged, triggering a spike in tiger poaching. Wild tiger numbers are so low that this demand could push them to extinction. But WWF is working to increase the number of wild tigers. Your support can help us stop poaching, eliminate demand for their parts, and protect their habitat. You can help us stop wild tigers and other endangered species from vanishing. Call or visit WWFnow.org to symbolically adopt a tiger for just $8 a month and receive this free adoption kit as a thank you. There is nothing as final as extinction. Act now before it's too late.
Carrots check a box that government health officials say should be filled every day.
So the recommendation is that we have one serving of an orange or yellow vegetable each day.
Dietitian Kate Zaratsky says that's because root veggies like carrots pack a lot of nutritional punch in each crunch. Carrots contain a compound called beta-carotene that's converted to vitamin A in your body. Vitamin A promotes eye health and it reduces your risk for cancer.
I think we often think of the vitamin A. However, carrots have a wealth of nutrition.
Zaratsky says carrots are an excellent source of soluble fiber and they're rich in antioxidants too.
Both of which can be beneficial to the heart.
The carrot's potassium aids in controlling blood pressure and its vitamin C boosts your immune system.
I think carrots are a great vegetable just because they're so simple. You can eat them raw, you can eat them cooked, and they help assure that we do get our one serving of an orange or yellow vegetable in each day.
He was diagnosed when he was 3. I'm a diabetes mom in every sense of the word. It's not visible, so people don't understand the severity of it.
It's not a choice to not be able to handle it. You have to handle it, or like you're going to get sick or something bad is going to happen. Changing my sight and stuff, it's pretty hard and painful.
When he was diagnosed, I called his daycare. She was like, can you not bring him back? We're not comfortable with him being here. So I missed a lot of work just trying to find a school for him, for a 3-year-old that either had a nurse or someone that was willing to be trained. It's extremely difficult, which is why I advocate so hard. The American Diabetes Association, they've literally become like our family. They've helped me learn how to become an advocate, make our voice heard.
Trying to help people understand what diabetes is.
They provide resources and opportunities so that he's safe when I'm scared. His teacher this year is amazing. His nurse is like ridiculous. She is in love with Chase and she knows his body inside and out. So we're lucky, but there are so many kids who they don't have that village and they don't have that system.
One day, someone's gonna find a cure, or someone should.
Well, first you need to know it's okay for you to have that dream. Then there are 2 ways that you're going to achieve it. 1, you struggle and hopefully find a path and get a little lucky. And 2, you find someone that's been there. They show you the knowledge, give you the confidence. I mean, it's still hard work, but everything's better with someone at your side. Then you better believe you need to pass that on. What better way than junior achievement? You volunteer, you get the chance to change a life or 2. I call that success.
If I could meet the blood or platelet donor that gave blood or platelets to me, I would just say thank you for saving my life.
Livia was almost 6 years old when she got sick. She was diagnosed with a rare disease called aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia is basically where the bone marrow shuts down and you no longer produce red cells, white cells, or platelets. The doctor said to me, the normal platelet count for someone who is sick is about 150,000. When somebody reaches a 10,000 platelet count, it's considered very dangerous. And your daughter is at 2,500, meaning she's bleeding out internally, and the platelets were crucial because that's what stopped the bleeding. She needed a transfusion of platelets immediately to save her life. When you see your child fighting for their life and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, you feel that the world is so large and you are so small and so powerless. We were so grateful that there were platelets available for Livia, because if she didn't have them at that moment of us getting into that hospital, she would not be alive today. Livia is now at approximately 7 years of remission.
If Red Cross wasn't here, I wouldn't be here, and I know many other people wouldn't be here, because blood just doesn't come out of nowhere. It has to come from other people.
Giving blood, giving platelets, supporting the American Red Cross makes a difference. It saved our daughter's life. Thank you so very much.
My name is Julie, and Luke and Molly are my kids. Brandon and I have been married for nearly 15 years, and Luke and Molly are our life. Luke is 11, and he's all boy. Luke loves to play outside. He loves all sports. He's involved in basketball and archery and baseball. When he grows up, he wants to be a firefighter and a farmer. Not sure how that'll work, but that's his goal. Molly is 8, and she is full of personality. She is the star of the show wherever she goes, whether there's a show or not. She loves to play with her American Girl dolls.
You can see that I love dolls.
She loves to make videos, put on shows, always be the center of attention.
We came from England and went all the way to British.
Luke had RSV as a baby and ended up in the hospital, and so when his blood counts were low, they figured it was related to the RSV. We were sent to Children's so that they could look to see if he had leukemia, and everything came back fine, that he didn't have leukemia, so we breathed a sigh of relief, and a few days later got the call that actually he had MDS.
It's just, when you first get the news, it's like, you know, where do you start? What do you do? How is this going to end?
He was in the hospital for about 60 to 70 days without leaving, and he was too young to really know the difference. He just didn't feel well.
Julie stayed down at the hospital through treatment, and I worked in Becker at the time. I didn't even come home. I'd go to work, you know, because I had to keep working, so run to work and go right back down there. We stayed at the Ronald McDonald House, a day in and day out. That's all we did.
It's tremendously difficult telling a parent that their child has to go through a bone marrow transplant because it's difficult to go through a bone marrow transplant.
After Luke was diagnosed and went through treatment, we found that new normal and we were told you can have more kids, it's not genetic. And Molly was born, beautiful little girl. I had the doctor run blood tests right away to make sure she didn't have MDS. And when she was born, she didn't. And so it was a big sigh of relief that things were fine. But I could never really shake that gut feeling that something was wrong, even though she looked so healthy.
Mom had that intuition that something was wrong and said Molly needs to be tested. So yes, I was the one that said, you're right, Molly also has it and needs a bone marrow transplant.
My world stopped that day. Molly was Luke's little sister who was at daycare when I was visiting Luke, and I could not believe that they were going to be going down that same road that they had already traveled with Luke.
When Luke found out that his sister had cancer, the same cancer, him and I did have the talk, is my sister going to die? And that's something you shouldn't ever have to do with a 5-year-old.
To go through something so difficult and then be told you have to do it again is extraordinary.
And so the second time around, we knew what to expect, so we knew what was coming, which didn't necessarily make it better.
It takes at least a year to recover from it because we have to suppress the child's immune system so that they allow these foreign cells to grow. And then there can be lots of complications until then, particularly life-threatening infection. Less than probably 1 in 3 children would be cured without a bone marrow transplant. With a bone marrow transplant, it's greater than 80%. And that's all through research that has been a possibility to change the success rate so tremendously.
Now that Luke is 10 years post-transplant, his odds of his MDS coming back are pretty slim. Molly is past the 5-year mark, so her odds are going down every year.
When you meet them, you'd never know what they've experienced. They're like my little role models.
Pennies for Patients was one of the organizations that really helped us out when we needed help financially during the treatment.
Every penny counts. Every penny goes towards funding research, giving hope, and curing these children. And everybody can make a difference. Everybody can give these children hope.
Every penny counts! Nice!
Progressive MS has impacted us in every way possible. My wife, Jean, was diagnosed with secondary progressive MS, and in a very short period of time, she became quadriplegic.
The future's not bright. It's a progressive illness, progressive MS, it's degenerative.
Per cui io ho imparato ad organizzarmi. Prima magari arrivavo stanchissima a sera, invece adesso mi distribuisco gli impegni durante la settimana.
When it comes to MS, it is something I've always known in my life. There has never been a day when multiple sclerosis wasn't taking something away from someone I loved.
She became nonverbal, she suffered cognitive decline, she receives all her nutrition through a feeding tube.
My father was diagnosed before I was born, and his MS progressed very rapidly, and he passed away when I was young.
Well, the Progressive MS Alliance has become an amazing force in the world.
To know that there's a body, a worldwide body, working towards getting a cure or just working on progressive MS. You feel like there's someone working with you. It's not, you're not alone.
Well, the Alliance has to accomplish an effective treatment for
progressive MS.
It's quite a lonely disease because firstly no one knows why it occurs. There is no cure.
I think focusing people's minds, bringing together the societies, bringing together clinical academics to focus on the area is another really good achievement.
It first represented hope to me, and now it's demonstrating progress.
The goal of this network is to develop a new MRI outcome measure that can be used in phase 2 clinical trials. If we're successful, it'll be possible to do much shorter, smaller, less expensive trials to see if drugs have the potential to work or not.
It's the first time in my experience, and actually the first time in the global MS movement's experience, that organizations have agreed together to fund research, but also to decide on research together.
And it's by having a clear focus and priorities and bringing the resource and the funding together that we believe we will be able to make much quicker progress together than we could ever make apart.
I'd like potential donors to know that this is for real, that we are doing something that has never been done before, and we are tackling the most important problem in MS, and that the people that are involved in the Progressive Alliance have the ability to deliver, but they need their support to do so.
First of all, we can all make a gift, no matter how big or how small. It all matters, it all contributes, it all makes it move faster.
Io mi auguro che questa alleanza internazionale riesca nell'arco di 10 anni a trovare delle soluzioni per le forme progressive, perché comunque sono quelle ancora orfane di cura e di terapia.
What I want most for the future is for this story to have a happy ending so that other families will never have to experience what we've gone through. A future where we talk about progressive MS in the past tense.
Throughout my baseball career, I've had the chance to be a part of many special teams, but none with the ability to change lives every day like my team at Shriners Hospitals for Children. I'm proud to team up with Shriners Hospitals for Children to help bring hope and healing to families from around the world. At their 22 locations in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, Shriners Hospitals for Children provides expert care for children with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and cleft lip and palate, regardless of the family's ability to pay. Since 1922, Shriners Hospitals for Children has transformed the lives of more than 1 million children by empowering them to pursue their dreams and accept no limitations to the goals that they can achieve. But they can't do it alone. Will you join me in supporting this remarkable healthcare system by making a donation to change the lives of children like my friends Catherine and Ashton? Please join me by going online to make a donation today.
It even has my name on there.
Oh yeah.
ASHT.
Until the next time, we hope these ideas for your health, your safety, and your finances make your day a little better and a lot more fun.